Hey, it's Valerie Ling here. This is a live video right after my workout at the gym. I wanted to just show you that self-care in the form of exercise is really not that glamorous. I'm beat. The workout beat me at some points. I did probably 75% of what it required for me. And I wanted to just talk about how self-compassion, about our exercise and about self-care, that we don't have to feel guilty because it's some kind of indulgent thing that we do when nobody else gets a chance to rest. Self-care very often looks like this, right? I probably spend about 20 minutes in my car procrastinating, and then today I actually diverted myself. I was in the gym for a total of 5 minutes on the rowing machine before I thought, geez, I really miss my kids. I'm not really wanting to run on the treadmill. I'm going to divert myself. And so 5 minutes into the gym program, I actually exited and thought, I don't care what you were all thinking. I'm going home, and got to the floor. And as I was exercising on the floor, groaning and literally feeling like I was going to pass out, I thought about what is the meaning? Good grief, why on earth are you doing this, Valerie? And it reminded me about my first time when I started to exercise in 2009. It was after a miscarriage, right? And I lost a pregnancy, and I was living overseas at the time. I didn't have my family with me and felt really defective. I just felt that there was something wrong with my body, and I really just couldn't get out of that headspace. And you know what? What started actually as an act of almost maybe punishment, if I were to be honest, for my body to say, look, this body is not right. I've really got to whip it into shape. Really brought me into contact with a very compassionate personal trainer at the time, and that young man, and he was young, he was probably in his 20s, really just nursed me back to having some compassion on my body and recognizing that all it needed was a little bit of tender loving care, and that was 10 years ago. And I've since been able to dig deep into that. After I had my miscarriage in 2009, my whole life was derailed in a lot of ways. I thought that I was going to be a mum again to a person in our family, and that didn't happen. And I'm happy to share this with you now. It wasn't at the time. We tried for a year, and no baby came. And I often thought it just didn't make any sense to me. And at the time, when I did the video on finding meaning, at the time, life was really, really challenging, and it looked like I'd lost purpose. Actually, I think what it was I thought that I lost my identity and that of being a mum again. And then I was punishing myself, my body, for being defective. What instead happened was a greater, deeper, soul-searching experience of really connecting with why do I do the things that I do, right? Who are the people that are most important to me? In what do I want to leave behind? When it's all been said and done, what does this all amount to? And at that point in time, it was to really focus on being a child psychologist. And that's probably where my journey began, in rebuilding my sense of hope that if I couldn't have another person, another child in my world, I could give back to the other children in the world who were at a loss, who weren't, who needed some help. And that was actually part of my early clinical days. And probably to this day, I still have quite a tender spot for children in many different ways, though I cannot do that work clinically as much anymore. But as I was exercising with my now children, when this all happened in 2009, they were much younger, they're a lot older now. I was also reconnected with the sense that even though at that time it didn't seem like things would make sense, 10 years on in that journey of exercising and really just being disciplined about it, I kind of look at my kids now who are older and think, well, this is actually part of the legacy that I'm leaving behind, because this is not defeat, this is fight. This is actually a fight. To stay strong, to stay agile, to stay resourced, to care for myself so that I'm around for the next 10 years for them, and for them to actually see that self-care doesn't look glamorous, right? I'm grunting and groaning at home, and I'm kind of going, oh man, geez Louise, is that what I have to do next? Oh my goodness, far out. Oh, because you can do that at home, you don't do that at the gym, right? That is part of the legacy that I want to leave behind for them. So just adding another dimension to the thinking about purpose. I think we often confuse purpose with a sense of a big mission, that it's something we've got to achieve, something that we've got to accomplish. And if it isn't big enough, if it isn't, significant enough, it's not a purpose. And I think that's where we get mixed up between purpose and goals. Your purpose is your why. It's the why you wake up every day and you do the things that you do, and it often comes from adversity, from a clarifying situation of adversity that makes you really dig deep and ask the questions of what I actually really fundamentally believe in. Who am I doing this for, and what do I want to leave behind? So I'll catch you later.